Hello, my name is Oyindamola Johnson, and as usual, I'm very grateful for the opportunity I have today to be able to share with you some thoughts that I believe would be of benefit to you. Thank you so much for wherever you're joining me from. I know that you're going to gain from this today. Um, I normally do. I do what I do because I believe that it is very necessary for us to to share resources with each other, to share information with each other. No man is an island, and no one claims to know it all. I'm not coming here to claim to know everything. I'm just sharing things that I know that I've made use of personally, or I've seen other people make use of, and which has helped them in a greater measure. So today I'm going to be talking about the 5 F's of living, and I trust that you're going to benefit from it. So you ready? So let's roll. The first F that I have here is very interesting, and it says fail fast but fail forward. Not many people like to fail. I do not think I like to fail, but I believe that there are lessons to be learned in failure. Life is in stages and life is in phases. Before you get from where you are to where you're meant to be, there would have been so much lessons that you'd have learned along the way. What has helped me so far is to see failure as a comma in the sentence of my life rather than a period or a full stop. Because the full stop basically means that that's where this could probably mean that that's where the story ends, or that's where you're putting a pause to it. But I see it as a comma and not as a period. And when you fail forward, it basically means taking lessons, taking insights from whatever it is that you've gone through, and basically taking it to the next level. And that is very, very important in the life of every person. So I know that failure can be. I'm not going to come and say that it's going to be that it is easy. Failure hurts sometimes. Failure discourages. Failure dampens your spirit. But you need to get to a point in time in which after going through that phase, you get up and you dust yourself and you keep moving. So what area or aspects of your life have you experienced failure? Is it in your finances? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your career? Failure isn't necessarily sometimes a bad thing. It's there's something I called taking things back to default settings. I know that a lot of people can relate with this. I believe that there are certain times in our lives in which the system goes into overdrive, and you need to press the reset button. For a lot of people, the reset button basically puts everything back in perspective. The default setting basically means going back to the to the original plan. So how do you see failure? How do you take it? Don't take it as something negative. Sometimes there could be some lessons and some blessings in failure. So fail fast, but fail forward. If you're not failing enough, it could probably mean you're not trying enough. You're not making enough attempts. That is not to say that we should make failure the hallmark of our lives. Not necessarily, but failure means taking lessons. There are two outcomes for anything that you're going to do. It's either you do it and you succeed, and if you succeed, fine. And it's also either you do it and you do not succeed. Now, if you do not succeed and you fail, you've learned something. That's the truth. You've learned something, and definitely, I don't think you're going to do that same thing the second time, and you're going to do it exactly the same way you did it the first time. That only shows someone who hasn't taken the lessons from the first experience. So sometimes failure is good. Sometimes failure helps put things in perspective. So that's the first F I'm going to be sharing with you today. Fail fast but fail forward. Now, the second F that I'm going to be sharing with you, these are the 5 Fs of living. It could probably be more than that. I'm just, for the purpose of this video, I've cut it down to just 5 Fs for living. If you have more, I'd like to hear from you, so you could comment on this video, and let's share with others. Let's rub minds and let's learn from each other. Now, the second F that I'm going to be sharing with you today is faith. Even the Bible says that without faith, it is impossible to please God. Now, when you buy your plane tickets and you get into that plane, not many people ask to see, the map or the route that we're going to fly, through. Not many people even ask to see the pilot or the co-pilot. Who knows if the cockpit is empty? We just get into the plane. The plane takes off. We sleep or we watch videos, and we assume in the next couple of hours we're going to get to our destination. That's faith. That's faith. So can you apply that same belief into your life? To know that I'm going to do this and it's going to work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to learn from it, but I'm going to do it again. So faith is very important in the life of every person, in whatever stage or whatever level that you are. That faith in yourself. Sometimes people are not going to believe in you. Sometimes people are going to discourage you. Sometimes people are going to wonder, why are you wasting your time with this? But whatever it is that, you've proposed in your heart to do, you have to be your own number one fan. Be your own number one fan. Root for yourself. Encourage yourself. Push yourself. That is only, it's very interesting. Sometimes it's very much later down the line that's when people will say, I always knew you were going to make it. But you don't owe your success to anybody. You owe it to yourself. No one is a competition. Like for example, when I see other people doing amazing things, I'm genuinely happy for others. I learn from it, but I don't see anyone as a competition. I don't see anyone as competition because it's not necessary. The sky is wide enough for everyone to thrive. Have you ever looked up in the sky and you're seeing two birds compete for space? Or you see other birds, struggling because, the sky is, full. There's no space. There's space enough. There's space at the top for everybody. There's space. There's enough space for everybody. So no one is a competition. Be inspired by others. Be motivated by others. Be encouraged by others. But do not be in a competition with the next person. It's not worth it. Because what you begin to do is you begin to use other people's yardsticks. Yardstick as a measure for your own success, and that is not true, because each person has their own race to run. Each person has their own life to live. So faith is very important. The third F that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I need to wrap up. I'm going to be ending very soon. Is friendship. Life is not meant to be lived alone. Life is not meant to be lived in isolation. Friendships are important. Friendships that would encourage you, friendship that would motivate you, friendship that would inspire you. So friendship is very important. And in terms of friendship, I could also say that your networks, the network that you surround yourself with is also very key. There's a popular, saying that goes this way, that your net worth is, your net worth is directly proportionate to the network that you have around you. So sometimes you really might not measure an individual based on the material substance they've acquired, but but by the network that they surround themselves with. Because the difference between A and B sometimes is basically, or sometimes it just comes down to the amount of information that they have available to them. For example, I've been fortunate over time, to access some certain information, which probably has led to where I am today. And I'm also accessing some certain information presently that is preparing tomorrow for me. And as a young person, I've realized that always wasn't the case. There was a time that I needed information, I needed resources, I needed support. I didn't know where to turn to. I'll spend days and hours browsing or reaching out to people. I know how many people I've reached out to, when I'm applying for fellowships. Please help me review my application. Please do this. Sometimes I'll get responses. Sometimes it will be blank. I wouldn't get any response. And that is why I do what I do today. A lot of times when I make calls on social media, for people to submit, to send across their applications or their essays or their bios, that's why I try as much as possible to do what I can, because I've once been in that state before, that I needed someone to be there, and sometimes you didn't have anyone and you just have to keep pushing. Now I realize now that definitely I cannot help everybody. In as much as I would have loved to help everybody, I simply cannot. I've not been called to reach out to everybody. So what I try to do as much as possible is, there's a theory that I coined. It's called the theory of the ripple effect of change. And it basically means change happening from one spot and spreading over. So when I share thoughts on social media, I don't talk as if I'm talking to everybody. I talk as if I'm having a conversation with one person. And if you follow my posts, over time, that is what you discover. I don't try to talk to the crowd. I try to talk to someone. And I believe that if I can possibly, affect the life of someone, hopefully that one would also go and affect the life of another person. Hopefully that other person that was affected will also go out and affect the other person. And you can see it's just a ripple effect of change. So that is what I believe in. Of course, when I have the opportunity of reaching, a wide audience of people, I do what I can, but I've once been in that state, and sometimes it's really not a good state to be in. So that is, what sometimes pushes and drives me. And my work basically focuses on providing inspiration, motivation, and activation. So from this video, I hope you'll be inspired. I hope you'll be motivated to take action. Because if the information and the resources and everything doesn't lead to taking action, then I don't think my work was done. I don't think it's going to benefit you. So it should lead to action. So friendship, cultivate the right friendships around you. It is very, very necessary. So the fourth one that I'm going to talk about today is family. Now family is a very interesting concept. We live in a very interconnected world today, and sometimes family extends beyond blood. Family sometimes extend beyond our relatives or those that we have around us. Basically, what I'm trying to say is build a support system around you. It is very, very necessary. Build a support system around you. Especially for change makers, it is extremely hard to change the world. You're talking about over 7 billion people. How is it going to happen? So sometimes you discover that the more you do, the more problems you see, the more possibilities you see, the more there's that need. And it just seems as if the more you do, the less you see. And sometimes it can really be overwhelming. And especially for social change development practitioners, sometimes we take this pressure around with us, this burden. We're very special people. Not everyone can relate to needs of the society the way we do. We see opportunity, we see opportunities and problems, and we go ahead and we try to do the bits that we can. So you need a family. If you still have your biological family with you, blessed are you. But if you do not, cultivate a support system around you, because you're going to need it. It also ties back to the friendship piece that I spoke about the other time. It is very, very necessary. Now I need to rush now. The last F is you need to be fervent. You need to push. You owe your success not to anybody but to yourself. Nobody is competition. Compete with yourself. Outdo your past. Let yourself set high standards that you want to reach out for, and know that it is possible. So I need to wrap up now. Thank you so much for the opportunity, to talk to you today. I hope you've benefited from it. If you have, please share with others. and I'll reach you sometime soon. Thank you. Bye.